What's up, everybody? We back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about what Street Legend teaches us about a few of the characters. But first, daily reminder, man, make sure you're watching, at the very least, these 10 free ads up here every single day. You're going to be getting somewhere between 100 and 200 gems from this. You're also going to get some protein powder vouchers, some gold upgrade card vouchers, some nutrition bars, and some energy gel. Let's jump to it. Alright, man, so let's get this started. So I'm not the best storyteller there is out there, but I am going to try my best, man. So we're going to start off with what they tell us about Fire King. There isn't really very much aside from the fact that the man is an a-hole. We know this because on stage 1-1, after you win the match, Havoc G asks Fire King, "Are you the boss around here?" And Fire King responds with, "No, there are a few with higher levels." Havoc G says, "Show me," and Fire King says, "Nah, I got stuff to do." This man is a giant a-hole, bro. He didn't have to be that rude. It only takes like a second to say someone's name. So make sure y'all keep that in mind. Fire King, that man is an a-hole. So next, we're going to be talking about Havoc G. Havoc G wants to find the strongest opponents, and he wants to beat them. How do we know this? That's because inside of stage 1-1, he asked Fire King, "Are you the boss around here?" And you know what Fire King did after that, man. And also on stage 1-3, before the match starts, he asked Howie if he's the boss around here. And then at the end of that match, after you beat Howie's team, and he tells you that you guys are actually some pretty tough opponents, Havoc G responds with, "Of course, we'll beat even stronger opponents." So that's what we know about Havoc G. He is on a mission to beat all of the best people that are out there. So next we're going to be talking about Rocket. Rocket is Greta's younger brother, and he's also very arrogant. Now, you can't really tell that they're siblings if you look at the hair as well as the facial features. They don't really look very much alike, but we know this because inside of stage 2-1, at the beginning, Rocket said, Havoc G said, "Hey, look, is that Rocket?" And then Rocket said, "Yeah, I'm here to beat you guys." And then at the end of the match, Maggie said, "Rocket, you've got a leg up." And Rocket responds with, "That's part of my strength. Get a leg up if you can." And Greta responds with, "I'm starting to regret having this little brother." So that lets us know right there inside of stage 2-1, at the end of the match after you get the win, Greta reveals that Rocket is her younger brother. And next, we're going to be talking about Howie. Howie is a legend inside of the area on the court. He's also a gang leader. He has a short temper, and he's also referred to as Duncan. So how do we know this? At the start of stage 2-4, Havoc G says, "The legendary punk of our community. I wonder how his gang is doing." Then Howie responds to that with, "Punk, kid, let's have a talk after the match." So after you get the dub against Howie's team, once Howie's team gets the dub against Havoc G's team, Greta says, "Wow, you are so awesome, Duncan. So you weren't playing seriously last time we had a match." Howie responds with, "I'm the legend. I don't bully the weak." So that lets us know Howie is a legend inside the area. He's one of the best people in terms of lore when it comes down to playing basketball inside of this game. So next, we're going to talk about Mary. There's not really much that they gave us when it comes down to Mary. All they gave us was the fact that she loves to eat. And we know this because at the end of stage 3-2, she says, "I wouldn't have lost to you if I wasn't so hungry." Now, that doesn't tell us that she loves food. But when you look at stage 3-5, at the end, when Greta said that she was hungry because the match was hard, she needed something to eat, Mary says, "I know the restaurants in this neighborhood very well. Let's have dinner together." And Greta asks her, "Didn't you just have something?" Because at the end of stage 3-2, she said she was going to get something to eat, and then she's eating again the next match after. It is weird, man. So Mary, she loves food. If you like to eat a lot of food, Mary is definitely the character for you. And next, we're looking at Amy. What is it about Amy that tell us? It's not really much aside from the fact that she gets offended when her height is pointed out. On stage 3-5 at the beginning before you start the match, Greta says, "Wow, a giant lady. She's almost 6'5". She is a monster." It's followed by a long and awkward silence before Amy says, "I won't forget you said that." And that's really all they gave us on Amy. She really hates when people point out her height. And next, we're looking at Ben. Ben is one of the big four, and he loves dunking the ball. How do we know this? At the after you get the win inside of stage 5-1, Greta says he is one of the big four, the flying man Ben. The basket is his only goal. And Ben says, "Duncan is what makes me feel alive." Greta says, "What if you get blocked?" And Ben says, "Painful, yet wonderful." So Ben, he likes dunking the ball. He doesn't care if he gets blocked or not, as long as he just gets the opportunity to at least attempt to dunk the ball. So next up, we're going to be looking at Ranger. He is also one of the big four. And what is it about Ranger? He loves blocking. That is obvious, bro. This man can fly. Now, inside the story mode, everyone was thinking he was a center, but they came to the realization that he was a power forward. This man definitely plays like a center. He is blocking everything. If you are close enough for him to block it, he is definitely going to block that. So at the end of stage 5-2, after you get the win, Greta says he is one of the big four. It's Ranger. He really loves blocking, and his catchphrase is, and Ranger comes in and says, come on, let's have a real fight. All right, looking at another one of the big four, and this is Howie. All he cares about is shooting. He doesn't really care much for winning. We know this because at the end of stage 5-3, after you get the win, Greta says that's the legendary Howie. He is quite passionate and pays very little attention to match results. Howie responds with happiness first, competition second. Howie, me and you have something in common, man. As long as I'm having fun, I don't really care much for wins. That's why my rank is usually low. I'm just having fun on this game, man. Unless someone starts to drop some emotes on me, then I gotta get serious to show them who's really boss. So we're looking at the last of the big four. We're looking at Big Mike. He is a gentle giant. So Big Mike, he's really big. He looks intimidating, but he is actually a really kind person. We know this because at the end of stage 5-4, after you get the win, Greta says he is one of the big four. Big Mike, despite his looks, he is a really kind and honest guy. Big Mike responds with, I'm Big Mike. I'm really kind. So Big Mike, you're telling us something we already knew, man, but thank you for verifying that information for us. And last, the last person to tell us about inside this story, out of the playable characters anyway, we're talking about Greta. Greta is the scout who recruited the big four. We know that because at the beginning of stage 5-5, Greta says, yes, voila, let me introduce myself again. I'm Susan. We know her name isn't Susan, man. We know who Susan is. She says, I'm Susan, the super scout that discovered the big four. So Greta, she's the one that discovered them. Now the story of this game is really about you using whatever character it is you like to try to get good enough to enter inside of a championship. So Greta, she was scouting you out basically and putting you up against the best people that she knew to see if you truly had what it takes. So this is what they teach us about the characters inside of this game. I would be really interested for them to add some more stages, maybe just up to the point where we complete the championship that we worked so hard to reach by being trained and scouted out by Greta. That's it. Now catch y'all on the next one.